Hey guys, my name is Ryan,
And my name is Muska.
and welcome to Overwatch Central, and welcome to Route 66. We're doing an OST on the new map because it's amazing. I think it's easily my favourite map that's come out so far. It's pretty, and I'm playing Genji. This isn't going to be the best Genji play you'll ever see, but I think it's important to have an attacking map to show through the whole of the game as opposed to a really badly defended one where we're getting pushed back constantly.
Or a really terribly attacked one by the enemy team when we're defending. Like we have one of those games yesterday. Yeah, and it's kind of want to show off the whole map, but I don't think you need to care too much about the Genji gameplay not being the best, because the map does look amazing. I'm surprised you say it's gonna be like your, well, it is your favorite map.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's a lot early to sort of say whether you enjoy it or not, but I think with the reaction to a lot of people to Ilios, we're instantly like, I don't know if I like this one or not.
That's true.
And they've turned out to be like, yeah, I like Ilios the least. But this one was just like, every time I get this map, I'm like, yes.
A lot of people have been saying that it's the Dust Bowl, like Dust Bowl, the TF2 map, that sort of tribute to that.
Yeah.
Kind of agree, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think Blizzard look around the world and look for like what are the most aesthetically beautiful places in the world to do maps on.
Yeah.
Like Ilios, of course, which is very much like the southern European cities that just have like chalk-coloured buildings. And of course, as a sort of artist, you want to be like, right, I want to make a map on this place because holy shit, it's pretty.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually. This is a really interesting map, though, in the sense that it's very sort of open. Like it's kind of, it's not as linear as the other ones. Like, sure, it's a payload map, so it's a track, but it's still very sort of open.
And I felt it was important to play as a flanker on this map as well. That's why we chose Genji. Well, we got a couple of games, like I've got a soldier game on this map, but Genji just for the ability to sort of flank is me like struggling to climb a wall.
Yeah, well, it's just to sort of show the whole map, because like things like just like these little corners, like you're not really around here as much when playing tank. And yeah, I just get to see like more of the landscape and so on. It's a really cool map in the sense that the outside area looks very very good, but it's not super detailed. But when you go indoors, there's actually a lot of like references. The diner has loads of them. There's just a bunch of little signs and you know, crates and like boxes with stuff in them and all that sort of stuff. It's really, I don't know, it's cool because it's a bit of lore, it's aesthetically pleasing, and yeah, it's a lot of fun because it's a bit different from the other ones. And I do agree that Ilios, a lot of people just instantly say that don't really like this one, but this one people seem to like already.
I think it's like it. I guess it's the fact that it's a control map, maybe. People, like if it was a payload or something different, I think there'd be a lot more people. It's a hard map to play, Ilios, though. I think.
Yeah, I feel
now
like
that we've played it quite
maybe
a bit.
like the first area and the second area are a bit too similar, with the only difference being the big hole. Like apart from that, they're very similar in terms of the rest of the map, and it kind of just feels like everything but the actual point on a lot of the control maps are very sort of irrelevant, like those areas. But and that is sort of I think Ilios kind of suffers from that a bit more than the two other control maps. But hey, it's a pretty fun map to play still. Can have good games on it, but yeah, I guess I kind of agree with you. I'm not a big fan of Ilios anymore.
Whereas like just like the first game that we played on this, I was instantly like, yep, this is my favourite map. I instantly knew that it was just
on this one,
and the sort of just for how wide it starts and gradually gets a lot more. It gets a lot more sort of narrow and a lot harder to sort of choke through, I suppose. Yeah,
the last area is pretty interesting because snipers can sort of hang back and like if they're defending, like sit very far back and still have a very sort of clear line of sight onto the payload because it's just a long corridor. But there are also loads of flanks and lots of elevation ways to get around the map. So yeah, it doesn't just feel like, you know, the sort of Temple of Anubis first choke point. It's not narrow in that sense, but it's very sort of dynamic, I guess you could say. Because look here, for example, this little side room it's like it's not really near the payload, but just two heroes are still able to just sort of brawl it out there. And yeah, when it comes to the actual payload track on this map as well, I think it's one of the fewer maps that don't have, like, when I explored the map in spectator system in like right as it came out, I didn't really know how the payload was gonna move through here, because it seemed very weird, like for the payload to move through just this like warehouse. But now when I see it, sure, it's kind of like, yeah, I guess maybe that's what they kind of intended, to make it a bit of a different payload track.
Yeah, and I think that's just, they've probably had a lot of feedback from the game so far, and I guess, you know, payload is the game to be playing, especially for those that want to, you know, that are doing competitive tournaments. The teams that are playing always want to play payload maps more than anything.
Oh yeah, of course, that's a good point.
I think they just wanted to focus on a little bit more of a wider, more varied sense of a payload map, as opposed to narrower stuff like Dorado, I suppose, would be a good example of one.
Yeah, Dorado's very different compared to this one. I guess the only similar thing is that the last area is indoors and a bit more narrow, but Dorado is more like one big open room, and it's just a payload that has to move around, whilst here it's a long corridor for everyone. That seems to be the end of the gameplay though. Yeah. And yeah, I feel like we had a good little talk about the new map. Do you want to sign off here?
Yes, great map. We're looking forward to seeing some other stuff coming through from Blizzard in regards to maps like that. As we said, they like taking pretty places and making maps on them. And it's also interesting to add, they've got 2 heroes in the works that they've been trying in-house. What do you think of that, Miska, before we go?
From hopefully the Kez's recent
video.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that there's at least one support hero in there. I'd be very disappointed if there wasn't. My guess is that it's a support hero and maybe a bit of a different tank, since, or I don't know what they could do really. Maybe something that synergizes well with other heroes to, like, you know, shift the meta around a little bit. See new hero combos and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a new support though. That's something that we've heard
Sombra's mentioned the name a lot, and also if that's something that you would like us to do, a lot of people have been asking for us to talk about future heroes and theory crafting and, you know, digging up information and going, look out for these guys in the future. Do let us know. That's something we want to do, but not necessarily focusing on just yet.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to keep seeing us do these kinds of videos. And until next time, take care, and we'll see you then.
Bye.